If you just think about sitting for hours on end, how do your hips feel? Because if they are feeling stiff and tight, you are not alone. And that's why today I will be teaching you 5 easy feel-good hip opening stretches. Hello and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, consider this your official hi. My name is Vera. I'm your fat flexibility coach, and I'm here to make sure you're doing movement that feels good for your body at its current abilities so you can live life to the fullest. Today, we are going into my favorite major joint group, the hips. I love stretching my hips because it does hold a lot of tension and a lot of stress. And if we think of the hips like that, we can also think of the jaw like that. The difference is the jaw moves, okay? It moves, we can yawn, we can open it, it releases that tension. The hips, we gotta be a little bit more intentional with it. And that is why you are here today with me, so we can get a little bit intentional with the hips. We are going to go through 5 movements to make sure the hips feel real open. We are going to do a little warm up first, just to make sure the hips are in a good place to start. So when it comes to what you need today, so of course, you're going to have some space to move. Maybe you're going to have a yoga mat or a blanket down. I am going to have a few things with me here, and they're all optional, okay? The first one is a chair. Okay, I'm going to use it for some balance support and to give you a variation for our very first of the 5 stretches. I'm also going to have a strap with me. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a towel, belt, scarf, something like that that's nice and long. And finally, some yoga blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you can again opt for that chair or some thick books work in lieu of. So that's what I'm going to have around, but again, totally optional to what you have around. You can swap things with whatever you want or just go with nothing, just your mat, and that's totally cool. All right, so as always, we want to listen to our bodies. We don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, okay? Make it work for you, adjust as you need, because all our bodies are different. And remember, we never want to be stretching into pain. If we're coming into pain, reel it back in a bit, maybe take a break and come back to the video when your hips are feeling a little bit better. But that's my spiel. Let's get right in to these stretches. All right, my friends, I want to go into a little warm up first, just to make sure our muscles around our hips are nice and warm before we get into some stretches that we're actually going to be holding, which are static stretches. So I wanted to start with some nice high knee. Marching hands can be beside you, moving it with it, or to your hip. Okay, just nice and high. Take your time with it, breathing deeply. Good, 2 more. Last one. Good. Bring it down. We're going to go into some leg swings. I'm going to use a chair for some balance. If you want, you can as well. If you do though, let's use our inside leg for the swinging first, just so our balance isn't so off. Keep a nice micro bend in the straight leg so we're not overextending it. We're not locking it out. And just bring the leg up as high as you can and back. Good. For another 3, 2, last one. Bring it down. We'll switch sides right away. Go for those swings. Almost there. Last one. Perfect. Whoop. Hitting my wall there. I'm going to move this chair to the side. We're going to go into the most classic hip circles we've done in elementary school. Soft bend in the knees. Hands can be to the hips wherever it feels good. Push the hips forward, squeeze the glutes. Push to the side, push back. Other side, see if you can smooth it out. Good. So remember, when it comes to hip circles, we can go fast, we can go slow, we can go real big, or we can go small. Okay, make it your own. 1 more, switch directions. Good. So we really just want to make sure we're getting those cobwebs off our hip sockets here. If you're feeling any popping or noise coming through your hips, as long as it's not painful, that is a-okay. All right, 1 more. Find center, good. We are gonna go into some elephant walks next. So elephant walks, you're either gonna use a chair, blocks, or if you're feeling real good, you can go with the floor. I would probably suggest chair or blocks though. So whichever we're using, we're gonna have them in front of us. Our feet are gonna be a little bit wider than hip width, okay? We're gonna pull our tailbone back into an anterior tilt. So we're kind of showing off the front of our hips if it was a bowl, okay? Pushing it back, soft bend in the knees, fold forward, bring your hands to your chair or the blocks. Okay, so from here, I'm going to bend my right knee nice and deeply, straighten out my left knee. I don't have to have it fully straight. It can keep a small bend. Both my heels are grounded. Nice and slow, I'm gonna switch the bend, straighten out my right knee, bend the left. We're looking for a line of tension through the back of the leg. Once you find it, slowly switch. Okay, I don't want you moving any faster than I am. And I'm gonna slowly switch to those blocks just so you can see how that looks. So I still even have my blocks to the high setting if I'm using them. It is just a lot more into the legs for a warm up to go pretty far down. That's why I opt for a higher setting, and I can focus a bit more on the tailbone being pulled up, giving me some space to really feel for that stretch. Good. And remember, the heels are not lifting here. We're keeping them grounded. All right, we did a fair amount of these. We can slowly soften both knees, roll it up to standing just for a quick moment, because that is our warm up. We are gonna do all of these 5 stretches down on the ground, but I wanna show you the first stretch and how you can do it in a chair, just in case you don't wanna put any pressure on your knees. Okay, so let me show you with a chair first, and then I will show you on the ground. So I have my chair out. We're gonna go into a lizard lunge, but this is a standing option. So I'm gonna show you the standing option and then the grounded version. Then we will all do whatever feels best for our bodies. So the standing option is best for people who don't wanna put pressure on their knees. So just a little reminder again, I'm gonna show you, then we will all do it together. So I'm just gonna show you one side because it looks the same on both sides. I'm gonna bring my foot to the top of my chair, or base of my chair, sorry. Soft bend in my standing leg. I'm gonna bring my hand to the top of this chair, and I'm gonna lift my big toe up, and I'm gonna roll to the blade of my foot. The blade of my foot is the pinky side of the foot. I'm gonna slowly open it out. Now, I'm not even using my hand, it was just kind of there for dramatic effect. If I want from here, I can push my butt back. I can fold deeper over, maybe even bring my hand to the inside of the chair, or I can bring my elbow to the thigh, not to the knee joint, okay, to the thigh. And I think I have a nice long spine, and I'm holding over, breathing deeply. Okay, so that would how your standing version of this stretch we're about to do goes. To come on out of it, you just roll your foot back flat to the ground, your knee follows with. You come to stand, you step out, you'd rotate your chair, switch sides, okay? But let me show you how to do this on the floor as well, and then we can all do it together. All right, friends, so let me show you the lizard lunge, which is the traditional lizard lunge on the ground here. So I'm gonna actually give you a weird diagonal to show you my leg positioning, because it's a little bit trickier to see from that side view. So I'm going to bring my foot forward 90 degrees in front of me, okay, in line with the hip. I'm going to scoot my foot out of line from my hip, okay? From here, I can bring my hands down to the floor or to blocks. Now, I can have my back leg extended in towards a low lunge, which I will show you from the side view, or you can have it in this 90-90 position if you don't want to go too deep into the hip flexors today. From here though, I'm just gonna keep myself lifted, but our hands would be to the ground. We're gonna lift the toes up, let the knee open out if it feels good. If that does not feel good, keep the foot grounded, keep the knee in line. It's gonna be squeezing towards the shoulder, okay? And then I'm gonna give you an option to add to that if you were on the ground with me once we're in it, okay? So let me just swing around here. So again, I'm coming into a low lunge position. So I'm gonna shift my hips forward, thinking of them curling into my belly button. I heel toe my foot, in this case, to the edge of my mat. And I can bring my hands down in line with the foot on the inside. And this is the start of our lizard lunge. We can stay here, okay? Keeping the knee glued in to the shoulder, so some strength happening in the hip. But if we want to open it, and this feels okay though, lift the toes, come to the blade of foot. Again, pinky side, knee opens out with the big toe at all times. Okay, we breathe into this. Okay, so if you're in the chair version or this, come hang out with me here. Take some deep breaths. You can do maybe some very gentle rocking just to kind of see how it feels. Then you can find some stillness. Now, let me give you an option if you want to go deeper. We're going to lift the same hand as our front leg up, bring it to the thigh. Just like with the chair variation where you can gently push on the thigh to open it, we can do that here. It also opens the chest. Okay, I would only do this if your hips are feeling real good. Okay, if they don't, keep them grounded. If you want to go deeper, and this feels okay, but you don't want to add the twist, walk your hands forward, come down to your forearms. Oh my goodness, I am feeling that. I'm going to come back to my hands here, but I just want to give you some options. So we're going to hang out here, wherever we're at, for another 6, 2, 1. Roll the foot back, bring the knee into the shoulder if it was not. Shift your hips back. Bring that foot around. If you are going for the chair variation, step on out of it, swing that chair around. Let's do the other side together. So we bring that foot forward, work to the chair, heel toe it to the edge of the mat, curl the tailbone in if you're going for that lunge version. Let the hips sink. You can take a breath here for a moment. Bring your hands down on the inside of the foot. Okay, you're adjusting as you need. If you feel good, the knees closing in on the shoulder, and we're just holding it like this. You can also come down to your forearms in this position. And then, of course, you have the option of rolling to the blade of your foot, again, pinky side of the foot, and the knee always tracks with the big toe. Okay, then we even have the option, bringing hand to the thigh, twisting open. Oh my gosh. That can be an intense stretch, so be careful if you do it. And then, of course, we're just hanging out. So we can have those little shimmies, kind of like a boat in water, just for a couple moments, just to kind of see how it feels. We can find stillness. We breathe nice and deeply as we hold this position. Okay, never hold your breath when we're stretching. Please do not do it. Breathe nice and deeply. Oh, yes. Good. Almost there. When you're ready, slowly bring the knee back to the shoulder if it was open. Push it back. Step it out. Wonderful. All right. So let me know how that goes. But we are going to go on. All right, so we're all going to come down to the ground next. We're going to come onto our bum. These next 4 stretches are actually all happening on our back. So like I said, you may want a strap, you may want blocks. Just keep them in arm's reach since we'll be on our backs. So I'm going to swing around here. We take our time coming down to the ground. Knees are going to be up, feet planted. Hands by our hips, feet about hip width. We're going to do one of my favorite moves, and it is a glute bridge. So glute bridge lengthens the front of the body and, of course, the front of the hips. Strengthens the back body, which is always good. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a nice inhale and exhale, just a few cycles here. As we inhale, we're gonna curl the tailbone in, press the lower spine into the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, curl in. Exhale, release. This time, as we inhale, squeeze your butt cheeks real tight. Exhale, release. Okay, we're moving into the glute bridge now. Inhale, curl the tailbone in, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, push your hips up to the sky. You're pushing through the heels of your feet and through your shoulders. You can really have your hands planted beside you. Push through your hands too. Good. Just keep squeezing your butt. Okay, you're pushing your hips up, so you're finding a really gentle stretch along the front of the body, like I was mentioning. Your glutes are feeling it, maybe your hamstrings, the back of your thighs, your back is too. Take a breath. On the exhale, I want you to curl the tailbone in even more, roll it down vertebra by vertebra. Do not let go of your butt squeezing until your butt tries to touch the ground last. Okay, do your best. Release. Ooh. We're gonna do it 2 more times. I just want you to give a moment, take a breath. Exhale. All right. When you're ready, curl the tailbone in on the inhale, squeeze the butt. Exhale, lift. Keep breathing nice and deeply here. Think of your knees as if they're pushing past your feet. Good. Holding it nice and steady. Keep curling your tailbone in. Keep squeezing those glutes. Exhale. Roll it down vertebra by vertebra. The butt is still activated until it touches the ground. Good. Good. Okay. One more time. Take that nice deep inhale. Exhale. Good. All right. Inhale, curl the tailbone in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, lift. All right, you got this. Perfect. Just for a final 3, 2, 1. Come down nice and slow with control. Release it all. Ooh, yes. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to go into our figure 4. Now, classic figure 4, you cross that foot over, you grab between your thighs. My thighs are a little bit big for that. So I want to give you the option of using a strap in that case. So you have a nice long strap or whatever have you. It's going to be looped around the belly of the thigh. Okay, just hold on to one hand for now. And you also have the option of not doing this. I'll show you in a moment. So we'll just have that strap there so it's already in place. My other foot is crossed over the top of the thigh, so right beside my knee. I'm squeezing my butt so my knee opens out. I may already feel a stretch here and I don't have to go any further, okay? Totally fine to just chill here. We are gonna add on no matter what we do, but this is our first starting option. Our second starting option is, of course, reaching through, grabbing onto our thigh, or if you're like me and you wanna use a strap, something to help us out, we pull that strap in, holding in, bring the shape towards our chest again. We're squeezing that butt to let the knee open out. If you really have the ability, you can even push on the thigh to open it, but squeezing the butt to open it is actually gonna give you a little bit more strength. Now, these are our 2 starting options. We're gonna move into a twist now, okay? So stay with me, take your time, and listen to your body. We're gonna twist to the right because my right foot is my bottom foot, so it may be opposite for you. I'm gonna slowly drop my leg shape to the right, adjusting it so I'm not hitting my wall, and I keep my shoulders grounded, okay? So even if I was going from a grounded position without a strap, it still falls to the side. All right, so we're taking a nice deep breath here. We're finding space through the side of the body. Maybe we lift one arm up. We don't have to though, we can. Good. I'm gonna bring my arm down and I'm gonna slowly lift the shape back up. Maybe if I was holding it up, I'm still bringing it into the chest. We're gonna go to the left side now. Okay, so this side's a little bit wonkier. You do your best. Maybe that foot just rotates down a bit so it's a bit more comfortable. We can still hold onto the strap or our thigh. We don't have to though. We can let it release, breathe. Then you have that option to bring the arm up. We're gonna lift the shape back up or back center, bring it down, release all that goodness. Give it a quick moment. Take that exhale. We switch sides. So again, if you want to use that strap, you put it in the belly of the muscle, not the knee joint, okay? The belly. So I'll just have that there just for reference. And I'm gonna cross my ankle over the knee. My foot's flexed. I'm using my glutes to push that knee away. Find some space in the hip, okay? Again, you have the option of using a strap or your hands. Pull the shape in, okay? Either work, all fine. It's whatever feels good for you. I'm gonna keep the strap to the side for this one. And we're gonna go for that nice little twist again. So we first twist towards the bottom leg side. So I'm gonna twist to my left. And I don't have to twist all the way down that my feet touch the ground here. I may keep it up more upright, that's fine. Do what feels good for you. Again, we can have the option, bringing the arm up, just finding a little bit of extra space in the side body and the hips there. Good. We can slowly lift the shape back up. We rotate to the opposite side. Again, try and keep your shoulders grounded here. They will want to come up a bit. Do your best to bring it down. Hold, breathe. Good. Slowly bring it up. Release those legs. Ooh, yeah. All right, my friends. We got 2 more moves. The next one is a happy baby. Now, I know a lot of people see a happy baby when it's in its full form, and they think, oh no, that's not happening. Let me give you some options, okay? So, of course, let's start from the top and work our way through some variations. So classic happy baby. We will have our hands grabbing to maybe our toes, the outside of our feet, the inside of our feet. We're pushing our tailbone down, pulling our knees beside our rib cage. Now, the positioning will be the same whether we do it this half or with a strap. So let me show you what those look like. So of course, just to remember, this is what that full happy baby pose looks like. We're pushing our spine straight, so it's all touching the ground as best as we can to get our hips open. So variations, we can use a strap or without, okay? And we're gonna do a half happy baby. Now, half happy baby looks like we're grabbing one foot again to the outside, the inside, maybe the toe, and you're pulling that knee down beside your rib cage. The other leg is bent or extended, and you're just pulling it down, just the one. And of course, you can use a strap for this, okay? Same hand as the leg, pulling it down beside you, foot flexed, okay? So I want you to pick your poison, because we're gonna add on to this happy baby, whether it's a half with strap, without, or a full happy baby. So I'm going to go into a full happy baby, but I will let you know when to switch if you are doing one leg at a time. All right. So I'm going to come into a happy baby. I'm sure it's going to look really graceful. Maybe don't watch, do your own thing. Okay. All right. That was better than I expected. So make sure both your shoulders are pushing down into the ground, whether it's full or half. Knees pulling down. Breathing nice and deeply. Think of your chest expanding here. Now, this is where we add on. We're gonna do one leg at a time for the sake if you were doing a half happy baby right now. So I'm just gonna extend one leg straight out, pulling it out to the side of me. Oh my goodness, ooh, breathing, breathing. Then the knee back in, pull it in. We go again. Take your time, open it out. Pull that leg down beside you. Fully bend, bring it in. One more time. Remember, the leg does not have to be fully straight here. We can always have a micro bend, especially if you're hypermobile. Can you have a micro bend? Bring it in. Switch legs if you're doing one leg at a time. If you're doing a full happy baby, just keep holding with me. So I'm rotating a bit as we do the other side to extend because I'm hitting my wall. So when you're ready, extend that leg out and open, breathe through it. Remember, you don't have to have it fully straight. Bend it in. Good. Two more, open. Yeah, I know it's not the easiest one, but I promise you it's worth it. Last time, I promise. Breathe nice and deeply. Do not hold your breath. Bring it in. Release everything down. Okay. So swinging back around here. If we want to use blocks again, and we're going to have them maybe beside our knees, maybe a little bit closer to our hips. We don't have to though. Our final movement is a nice, gentle one. It is a reclined butterfly. So I want you to bring your heels together, let your knees open. Okay, breathe into it. Now, if your knees are not touching the ground very easily, that is when we would use blocks or pillows to put them underneath, maybe even doing more than one block, okay? We do this so we have something to push our legs into. Because if we do without, we don't really know where we are going, and our mind is confused. But if we have something there to tell our brain, that is what we're working towards, it's a little bit easier for us. So, as you're catching your breath, you're breathing nice and deeply here. I want you to squeeze your butt. As you squeeze your butt, you're going to feel your knees push down a little bit further. And I want you to hold it for 5. Still breathing. You can release those muscles. Sink into it. Good. We're going to go again for another 5. So I want you to really squeeze your butt. Let your knees open. And release. Before we go into that final time, just take a quick moment. Think about what stretch was the most challenging for you of these 5. And let me know in the comments once we're done this final one. When you're ready, squeeze the butt. Let the knees push down. Maybe if you were using blocks, you're going to move them away now. Feel the knees go even deeper. And release. You can let your knees kind of wobble here, just like little butterfly wings. Give yourself some time to let your hips relax. You can do these a few more times. Maybe just let them rest. Maybe extend your legs straight out. Let your feet open. Take a few deep breaths. For this, if it felt really good for you, which I'm sure it did, make sure you're doing this video a few times a week and maybe try for just 3 weeks. Maybe like twice or 3 times a week for 3 weeks and come back and let me know how it went. Thank you so much for letting me be your guide today so you can have your hips a little bit more open. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and like this video so I know this is the type of content you want. And of course, check out that top comment down below. That is where you can join my mailing list where I send you weekly body neutral fitness and flexibility tips so you can keep your practice going. And if you want a little bit more, join my Discord community. That is the space where we are growing together, keeping each other accountable on our fitness and flexi goals, but also sharing memes, Spotify daylists, pets, and of course, having our monthly live class. So you're definitely going to want to check that out if you want a little bit more support. But that is all for me today. Please drink some water, stay flexi, and I'll see you soon again.